Welcome to another episode of Monday Beagle. Today, for the second time ever, we have not one but two extraordinary guests. Joining me are Valentin Feklistov and Aleksander Bitskov, both of whom are young, promising innovators and creators shaping the future of law and legal technology in Baltic States. Valentin is the legal expert and Alex is a multimedia expert, both founders of Legit, an AI-powered legal marketplace, and both behind the Future Law Conference, biggest tech and law event in Northern Europe. We'll be diving into the state of AI in Baltic region, the inception of future law, and the exciting developments shaping the future of legal technology. Hi guys, it's great that you could join me.
Great to be
We
here,
are
Michael.
really glad being here.
Alex, can you give us an overview of the state of AI in Baltic states? What's the current landscape like, and where do you see the most progress happening?
I guess that's a complex question, but we do have quite a few startups in the AI, especially in Estonia. I think in Estonia we have the most, followed by Latvia. We have about 187 startups from what I could find in the public data. 187 startups that utilize AI in some way. They may not all be like fully an AI startup, like a generative AI startup or something like this, but utilizing AI in some way. Like, for example, the biggest one we have is the Riff. The Riff is our unicorn, and they're helping many organizations with KYCing their clients, and they use AI for this to ensure that the person that is KYCing themselves is a real person.
They are using biometrical data for facial recognition in order to compare it with biometrical data of the documents provided within the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of startups, from what I saw, a lot of AI startups or startups that utilize AI in fintech, some kind of enterprise software, and then there's marketing. So these are like, I guess, the three sectors that I saw that have the most startups. Legal tech is lagging behind a little bit on utilizing AI, or in terms of startups utilizing AI. I guess in Latvia we have about 158 startups, and then Lithuania is the last with 102 startups that in some way utilize AI. This is the landscape. Apart from that, I think with any country, Estonia is pretty AI crazy. Everyone is like using ChatGPT, generative AI. Now no one can do any work without consulting ChatGPT.
So my next question, how is the legal industry handling this advancement? You said that legal is quite a bit behind, but you handle with AI and law. So how do you perceive it? How do you see it?
I mean, this is why we've created Future Law, our conference, to educate the market, educate the legal market, and bring more legal technologies into the legal industry. Because, as we all know, legal industry is a little bit behind in tech, and probably one of the most hesitant industries to innovate. So I can't say that Estonia stands out as a legal innovator in general, but there are certain organizations like us that are trying to push the legal innovation forward.
Okay, I could be there at Future Law Conference this year. I could speak even, and it was incredible how you gathered all these people from the industry, legal industry, tech industry, and incredible speakers discussing Gen AI, but also not only Gen AI. What was your vision when you first started the event? Education only, community building, or something else?
Well, first of all, as you already mentioned, we started Legit around 4 years ago already with Alex. So this was our first touch within this legal innovation and legal tech space. That's how we gathered and started our development within this space. More or less, we understood that we need to push the boundaries in the Baltics and the region overall in terms of developing of legal technology. And that's why we joined several organizations, associations, networks that are ambassadoring and promoting legal innovation throughout the world in Europe. Alex is also actively hosting different events in Estonia. And once I was at his event. It was an event dedicated to Web3 technologies. And an idea came to my mind that actually we have no proper legal innovation events in the Baltics, and even in the Nordics overall. It is hard to find a big event that would gather a lot of people from different parts of the world. And as we were a member of ELTA, European Legal Technology Association, I met several great like-minded people that are also developing within the space. We visited one panel discussion at Tallinn University. We were invited by Ebru Metin, who is a researcher there. There we met also this director of Tallinn Law School, and several more speakers, great speakers from Finland, USA, Germany. At that point, we understood that maybe we are capable of hosting a great event in Estonia within the space. That's how it actually started from the very beginning. Several factors came together and formed a vision based on which we proceed our path towards future law.
As I said, it was a great event. I think you gathered great community of people from many countries. I saw many significant persons from Poland participating. Can you give our listeners some samples? What was the most significant takeaways from the last edition? I could share mine, but what's your vision? What do you think, Valentin? What was the most relevant?
Well, that's not a difficult question even because it was on the surface, right? AI was the leading topic within the conference, but from my perspective, I would say that many of the sessions were data centric. Many great speakers emphasized that data is the core in order to provide quality legal services as well as build quality legal tech solutions, including AI powered solutions within this industry. So my takeaway is that we need to care more about data quality in order to filter it in a way it would be properly used to build proper large language models, AI agents for the future of the legal industry.
What about you, Alex? What new elements did you introduce this year, or how do you find evolution of future law? Is there new subjects that you put on the table?
A lot of my activity outside of legal tech is in the Web3 space. Web3 space is going through this period of maturity right now, where it's going through this volatility to regulation. I tried, of course, with the help of Valentin, to push the Web3 topic a little bit during future law. So, but also we realized that it's a little bit probably too early for lawyers to jump into Web3. There's a lot of other things they need to tackle first. First of all, before we go into technologies that are a little bit less relevant to the modern day, we need to innovate with technologies that are relevant. Just utilizing some kind of platforms in your legal practice at first, some kind of tech platforms is enough. So although I did try, like the answer to your question, I did try to introduce some new topics like DAOs, decentralized autonomous authorities. I think it was a little bit too early. We'll try again next year. Let's see how it goes.
And Valentin, can you share some most important sessions or speakers from last year that most impacted you and why? Was there something particularly groundbreaking this year?
Well, as I said, data, AI, and hybrid legal teams were the best topics that impacted me. And I was actually in the beginning, in the inception of making the agenda together with Alex and our partners. And that was our goal to introduce this vision because we saw the trend towards it. And from my point of view, if we are talking about some names, let's say, then of course I was quite impressed by the presentations of Damian Richel, for example. Alan Raguenau from Switzerland was also quite great. Aku Sorainen made a great speech. about how to coincide business vision and data-centric vision in order to run an innovative law firm in this age, AI age. A really great topic was also with students, law students, about work-life balance, because it's quite important. Because many people, what do they seek in technology? Help in order to save time, to save our precious time, to give us more time on more important things, let's say. And from my point of view, this topic and those law students that represented this panel discussion during the conference was also quite important and impactful, especially for the next generation of lawyers, for young lawyers who came to the conference.
I fully agree. When I was joining your conference, I was pretty convinced that it will be about Gen AI. And I was quite surprised that you gave a quite good mixture of Gen AI, of course, which is in the hype phase, but also subjects like Akus Sorainen, let's say traditional law firm, but with a really good sense of technology understanding, this topic about life balance and workshops about data management. It was amazing. But coming back to discussions about future of law, Alex, maybe you can say, how do you foresee the role of AI in the legal industry changing over the next few years, particularly in Baltic states? What's your perception there?
I think, particularly in the Baltic states, I think there's nothing too special about the Baltic states in the sense of adoption of AI. I think it will be the same everywhere, to be honest. And we'll see more AI-driven tools for contracting and predictive analytics to even assist people working on criminal cases, for example, like not to resolve the cases for them, but to assist with better decision making. Of course, automating administrative tasks and things like that make the mass of work of a lawyer, even if you're not a lawyer, any person, this masses of administrative work, just simplifying it and summarizing things that don't need to be, this super detailed blocks of information. I think this is where it's at, and we can see contract automation is a big thing, and contract automation was there even before AI. It was very simple, some kind of ML algorithms that were doing it for you before, and now with AI, it's simplifying it even more. I know a lot of lawyers already are using ChatGPT to draft contracts. You draft your contract, then you go over it. Okay, this is great, this is bad, correct it. And I think this will go. It will go further this way. It will continue this way.
I also think that AI arbitration will be a thing in the future. So, more simple cases, civil cases at first, I think, will be, let's say, taken by AI arbitration, AI court in the future in order to take some burden on this part from human. Plus, of course, as we see that in Estonia, there are a lot of digital identification tech companies like Verif, like ID.me, which are both unicorns, by the way. I think more and more we will see the use of AI in compliance sector.
Thank you for sharing this. I would discuss if Baltic states are not too specific, because I was quite amazed when the Ministry of Justice stood out at your conference and said how digitalized the judiciary system in Estonia is, which was quite something specific. In Poland, we don't have it so digitalized. But to be in track with your conference, it must be a challenge to keep future law ahead of the curve with AI and legal tech evolving so fast. So how do you ensure the event remains relevant and forward thinking? Of course, you're planning the next session, the next event. So can you share some insights how to be ahead?
Yeah, it's very simple. We do our research. I guess that's the short answer. Before we go into planning the agenda for the event, we review the current trends, what kind of startups are emerging, what's been happening in the past year, where everything is going, and then we start working on. We start doing the schedule based on that. It's a pretty simple strategy to stay relevant. Just make sure you're up to date on all the information, and all the tools are available. In the public, pretty much. You can go to Deal Room, for example, and see all the startups that popped up in the last year and that got funding, and then you see, okay, this industry or this particular segment of the industry is getting a lot of funding. Let's see what's going on there, and let's see what kind of topics we can bring into the conference.
Okay, maybe one last question, Valentin. During the event, I could see both people like middle-aged, like me, or Damien Riddle and Alex Hamilton, super experts in their fields. But there were also many young people, and I was quite amazed how good discussions between generations were. So for legal professionals in the Baltic states, but not also in Baltic states, that are starting to explore AI law and its applications, what advice would you give them? Where should they begin? Should they be interested in AI at all?
Well, and this is the most difficult question from my point of view. Of course, as we are ambassadoring the use of tech within the legal industry, we do suggest to use AI and other legal tech and tech tools in the work of any lawyer, next generation lawyer, let's say. But my personal take on this is that, first of all, each lawyer should train his or her own neural network in order to be able to think independently yourself and to use AI explicitly in order to assist you in some parts where you maybe have some deficiencies in language, or you would like to get some help in order to make your work faster, to make a summary based on the research you did or based on the document you drafted. So, in my point of view, first of all, each lawyer should be able to utilize his or her own neural network and then already supplement it with AI powers. Otherwise, we are in front of this, possible crisis where young people might be too reliant on AI powers, which may bring serious outcomes in the future for the legal industry overall. That's why we should be quite careful when utilizing any technology. But of course, we should be on this, let's say, wave of utilizing tech in order to improve yourself all the time and to get to know yourself how you can be better using it.
Any last thoughts, Alex, about it? How do you think young people should be involved in AI?
Young people are already getting too involved. What I mean is, young people are right now abusing AI tools. That's the way I feel. When we talk young people, let's say school to university age, my worry is that they will graduate school and university brain dead. As in, because AI is doing so much work. I guess brain dead is a little bit of a strong of a word, but we need to educate young people how to use AI as a tool. And I think a lot of young people are not doing it right now. They're doing it as a substitute to themselves rather than a tool that assists them. And then when they actually encounter real work or a real scenario, it's much more difficult because there's no tool to rely on in some situations, So this is my worry. I think with this crazy AI hype, it will probably die down a little bit or dial back a little bit, just like with any industry. You get go through this hype cycle. It will be maybe approached differently by organizations, by universities, by schools. Let's see how it goes.
So you should address also this topic during the next event. Valentin, Alex, this has been an insightful discussion. I want to thank you both for sharing your expertise and exciting work you're doing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for hosting us.
And to our listeners, be sure to follow Future Law on social media and join the conference, which is May 29-30 next year. So the tickets should be available really soon. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to Monday Bible for more conversations at the intersection of AI and law. And as always, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.